Okay, page 117, working with hypertext attributes. This is how you can choose to open a link into a separate tab or separate window. That way the original one is still there, so you don't have to click the back button. It still stays open. You just name a target for that. So take a look at page 118. And they show you the reference there, and there's different target names, you know, target or blank or self. Target opens the link in a new window or tab named target. Blank opens the link in a new unnamed window or tab. Or self opens the link in the current browser tab, window, or tab. Sounds all pretty similar. So let's go to the tips page. And we're going to target new so that these all open in a new tab. So after the quotes there, after com, hit space and then target quote or equals quotes new quotes. And now I'm just going to select that text, Control C, and I believe that's the same for every one of them as a new one. So space Control V, space Control V, and space Control V, Control S. And now let's take a look at this and see how that works. I'm gonna, I guess I gotta get to the tips page here. Go down here to the bottom. And now this, when I click it, should open in a new tab. And it does, so that we don't ever have to go away from here. And all the other ones will do the same. Okay. Okay, so it says many web designers now advocate not using the target attribute at all, leaving the choice of opening a link in a new tab or window to the user. Because, you know, a user can do this too. You can point, I do this a lot. You can point at a link because you never know if it's set to target a new tab or not. So you can point at it and hit the right mouse button and then open link in a new tab. You can open link in a new window altogether. Okay, you can do that yourself. So, all right, creating a tooltip. If you want to provide additional information about a link on your web page, you can add a tooltip. A tooltip is a descriptive text that appears when a user positions a mouse pointer over a link. Okay, so they show you how that looks in figure 245. Creating a semantic link. The type of hypertext link should always describe to the users the type of document that the link opens. You can also use the rel attribute to indicate the type of document that a link calls. For example, in the links to the site's home page, Gary could insert the following rel attribute. Okay, first. Okay. It's called a rel attribute. It's a semantic link because a tag contains information about the relationship between the link and its destination. This information is not intended for the user, but for the browser. For example, a browser could be set up to mark the first web page in a site with a special icon, or to provide scripts that allow quick access to a site's first page. Although the rel attribute is not limited to a fixed set of values, the specs for HTML and XHTML include a proposed list of special values, and there's some of them down there. Okay, so there's also the rev attribute at the bottom there to describe the reverse relationship, how a linked document views the current document. For example, if you're linking to the glossary page or the home page, the reverse relation is first. Okay. Using the link element, you can see there at the top of page 121 how that's done. Okay, and then you can see first is the home page, help is the tips page, and then index is the glossary. So at the bottom of page 121, they talk about working with metadata, and the metadata tab is for search engine optimization. And to use the meta element, all this stuff comes in the head, up in the head section of your page. And so when you add these things, you're not going to be able to see any any difference in your pages. However, it is going to be noticed on the web by web browsers. Okay, some different meta names that can be used are author, classification, copyright. You know, these are all things that a web browser could find for you and optimize it so your web page pops up when someone searches for it. Okay, so we're going to add some metadata to Gary's document. We're going to go to the home HTML. Our home HTML. We're going to open it with Notepad, and then meta information appears inside this head section. Remember, this stuff doesn't ever appear on a page. It just, what we're going to add now is search engine optimization code. Okay, so directly below the meta element that defines a document's character set, okay, so right here, we're going to space in, and we're going to add 3 lines of meta information. And I'm going to pause this now and let you do that. Okay, so once you're done adding this metadata here, we can go ahead and save, Control S, but this is what happens. Okay, so when someone searches for Gary Hayward, okay, this page will pop up because the author's name is here. Okay, meta name, the description, anything here in the description when people go to search for a web page, because it has this text here, that this web page will pop up, and then other keywords. Okay, right here, you know, if they just search a word, you know, this site could pop up. So page 124, using the meta element to reload a page. Describing your document is not the only use of meta elements. As you learned earlier, servers transmit web pages using communication protocol called HTTP. You could add information and commands to this communication stream with the HTTP hyphen EQIV attribute to the meta element. One common use of that is to force browsers to refresh a web page at timed intervals. For example, to automatically refresh a web page every 60 seconds. You know, if this was a stock clicker or a scoreboard or something that would need to be that could benefit from being refreshed. And they show you what that looks like. So just read the tip there. When redirecting a website to a new URL, avoid confusion by always including text notifying users that the page is being redirected. So that's what the last one is there. After so many seconds, it will refresh and go immediately to CamShot's homepage. We're not going to add that in, but that's just something that you can do.